Yo, what is good, everybody? What is good, yo? Attack on Titan Season 3 going in and actually showing us some interesting tidbits that if you're watching, for the first time through, and the first thing you're watching is Season 3, this episode wouldn't make a lot of sense to you because of all the callbacks and because of all the really um, big things that were told to us through the eyes of Keith, someone who I honestly thought was the Colossus Titan at one point. Um, just because, I mean, come on. You're not going to tell me that as soon as we found out who or what Titan shifters were, uh, there wasn't too many bald people. It could have only been like the guy from one of the core, like the Pixie. I forget. I always forget what his full name is. But the old guy who's like the leader of the Rose, and then you had Keith pretty much. And I was like, oh man, if the Titans take the form of the person who transforms, it's probably some bald guy in there. And come to find out, it had nothing to do with the bald guy. It was just a guy. So, um, hearing Keith's story though, man, is so freaking sad. Just knowing that there's so much going on within like love and within just small things that you have really no control of as soon as like things hit the fan when it actually does hit the fan. And in his case, it was him seeing his like love, someone he loved that he was like falling for, pretty much knowing that she was going to pass away sooner or later because of a sickness, and taking him to the person, or taking her to the person who she would then fall in love with. I think that was a pretty rough way to go out, and because of it, uh, you can definitely tell he never really, let it go. That person not letting it go being Keith. And if, he had all that resentment and stuff, he could have easily, knowing who Aaron Yeager was, the son of the guy who pretty much had a child with the woman you love, he could have easily got back at her or got back at both of them, for whatever reason. And he didn't. He just really stood by as a bystander, um, kind of just feeling bad for himself, and was even scolded by her even after he kind of gave his really nuance on how he feels on certain aspects of some people being special and some people not being chosen. And she had no problem with not being someone that is 110% special, which kind of proves her point that she wasn't special when she gets just eaten by a Titan. But who's to say she isn't special when she does get eaten by this Titan? It is the thing that unlocks the one potential trait in Eren that really wanted to go at the Titans, to really be the thing that helps him push forward towards being a Titan Slayer, is his mom being taken away from him. If his mom wasn't taken away by the Titans as they were, it probably would have been a lot harder for him to be motivated, and be so determined in his drive and in his passion about it, that maybe he wouldn't have been able to get as many people on his side without having that experience, which is crazy to think about. So, I think this is kind of a great way for Attack on Titan to keep itself in the game of animation, and not only that, kind of stay away from trailing too far into territories that need to be explained in more detailed, and explained to the sense of, if we're about to get a huge couple of battles coming up soon, they definitely don't want us, jumping straight into it after what we've just been going through already. So what do? You kind of ease it all in Not only that are they easing us in, they're also giving us content that I really did like to hear about this week. Just hearing that Keith was the one even sabotaging Aaron to not complete his regiment to become a soldier. All of these different things that he went through just to try to stop Aaron from, becoming what his father kind of wanted him to become, So I'm really happy that we're getting that instance of who is, who, or not who is, but who feels like the true father of Aaron Yeager, who actually put Aaron's freedom and his life of, living it the way he wants compared to someone who, uh, after losing the mother, he's just like, all right, everything that you have in life, put it towards avenging her. Like he didn't really have any other options in his father's eyes. And with Keith, he actually saw still a boy, a child that could be the one that isn't special and could just be someone that needs to be sheltered, needs to be helped. So really great episode of Attack on Titan, even if it was taking place in a flashback and we're learning about a character who's probably still not going to be relevant after this whole thing is said and done. And if he is, it would be nice to see him get more screen time because I think his face out of like everybody is definitely one of the most recognizable because of how much effort and craziness went into his arc of just creating these soldiers to what they are now. To think that even him, the person who helped them get where they are, he doesn't recognize them is saying a lot. And I really enjoy that as well. That he is the one that brought them up, and he's also should be the one to at least see them before like their inevitable end. Or I was expecting to see some people that he might be training or something along those lines. So um, really interested to see if they do anything with Keith at the end of the day. We also are really getting into this emo, super edgy Aaron who really doesn't care about his own well-being and is trying to push himself to the absolutely breaking point. So as soon as he does that, he doesn't have to, feel like he isn't something worth fighting for, and he isn't something just worth being on the front lines and risking your life for. He wants to be dead, do whatever he can to help, and kind of pass away and leave the rest to whoever else is alive. Is kind of the Aaron I'm uh, understanding right now. He's definitely not hyper anymore. He's very calm-minded. He almost seems like he's just super angry with himself. So it's clear to me that Aaron is going through another crazy change. And if he does go through a change, and this is without, really healing from anything after what has just like occurred, like a lot of stuff have just popped off. And to think that he would, hopefully get some resting time, nah, he don't need it. Let's just put him right back in it. So Aaron Aaron's got it rough, and I think that once we see what this whole taking the wall back is going to do, in the sense of if it's going to take more people, or if what if Aaron tries to go into his Titan form and it doesn't work. 'Cause all these different aspects are always on the line when it comes down to his character because it's happened before. And I love that aspect of Attack on Titan. They're not afraid to show you failures as much as they show you victories. So with that, everybody, I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to leave it at that. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like and a subscribe because it'd be greatly appreciated. Trying to grow this community so we could just talk about animes that we truly enjoy and that we can actually, you know, get some great content from. Because sure, we can love these animes, but if they're actually just really doo-doo, it's hard to be this passionate about it or to even care about what is coming in the future Because with Historia as the queen, seemingly they have a very good person taking care of them now. But how long is that faith going to last in them? And if it doesn't last, who will be the first one to go against them if they want to change the quota? But with that, like I said, I will talk to you in the next one. Make sure you're subscribed up because I'll be dropping more content as much as possible. And with that, everybody, I will talk to you in the next one. All right, take care. Peace.